Glad to have you back. It's still Business Daily on Trust Television, and we go straight into our discussion. Food security. The prevalence of hunger in Africa is becoming a very serious concern. Many experts have complained about the low productivity in our agricultural sector, and of course, this has contributed to the economic downturn that we are experiencing on the continent. And today I have in the studio with me one person who is so passionate about agriculture, who believes that the next oil is the next crude oil in Nigeria, of course, is agriculture. Chief Ogbo Joseph Douglas. He joins me in the studio. He's the president of Farmers Progressive Association. Glad to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
You are one of those who have been talking about investment in agriculture. You've been talking about this for a very, very long time. Where is this passion coming from?
Quite well, accurately, my name is Chief Dr. Ogbo Joseph Douglas. I am the president of Progressive Farmers in Nigeria. And it is nice for us to know that for once to play his role in galvanizing for issue of food insecurity, you must have passion for it. So I am born as a farmer. I'm born into the field of being a farmer, and I am from the food basket of the nation, which is Benue State. And it is only those people that have the passion to drive agriculture in Nigeria. And that's give birth to my having passion to make sure I drive agriculture in Nigeria.
Talking about driving agriculture, we know that our people are used to the old ways of farming, cutlass and hoe and all of that. Do you think maintaining that position will actually ensure we have a food security?
Yes, that is why in our Farmers Progressive Association, we are a team of university dons who are ready to propel the modern way of farming in Nigeria. Farming is one of the most lucrative business. And that is why we have run away from the issue of calling it agriculture. It's no longer a culture. It is rather a business. So we call it agribusiness. Agribusiness is a business that everybody can participate. The fact that Nigerians are not getting a good result in the area of agriculture is because of the availability of oil. It is very easy to get money through oil, but not so easy to get money through agriculture. But if agriculture is well paid attention to, believe you me, Nigeria will be free from all these unnecessary crises that have been erupting everywhere. Nigeria will be free from them.
Talking about paying attention to agriculture, at the twilight of this administration that is, will be out of government in the next few days, the president did come in with that passion. So much investment, so much has been done. We have the like of Anchor Borers program and so many other policies that were actually introduced. But has this helped in any way to propel agriculture?
Yes, somehow it played a little role, but not as we anticipate for it. What the government of the day did to agriculture was very palatable, but the key players in the field are the ones that rubbish the whole effort of the government. One, they did not go into investigation before they know who is actually the real farmer. So much funds that have been invested in agriculture through the present administration were channeled to the hands of the wrong farmers. The one we address as political farmers. They have no access to land. They are the only people that can access the corridor of government, and when they portray themselves there, the government listens to them thinking that they are real farmers. So they invest so much on them, and there is nothing to commensurate with what government has done. If what government say they have done to agriculture, it really played to the hands of the real farmers. Believing you me today, we cannot be buying a mudu of rice for 1,005 for good ones. Because the government closed the border with the hope that Nigerian agriculture is going to boom up. So that we have to produce what we eat, not importing from anywhere. Rather, we produce and satisfy the home demands and then be able to export outside. That is the gameplay.
Now, do you think the government was too quick to close the border before production?
Yeah, not that the government is too quick, because government gives some chances. before they finally close them. And before they finally close them, farmers are already on the field. And that is why you see we have all this we have today. And mind you, most of those things that are done by sustenance farmers. They have not employed nor give rooms to modern way of farming, which is full mechanized system of agriculture in the country. They have not given room to that. And that is why today we are not achieving the result of what government is propelling to do.
Okay, so I'm not talking about not achieving the result. I'm curious because before crude oil was discovered, the main sources of government revenue was agriculture. At what point do you think we lost agriculture? Because if you recall, the Maputo Declaration actually did say that every government in Africa should vote at least 10% of its budget annually to agriculture. But this thing, to some extent, has not really been implemented. Some of what we've seen, about 2%, 3%, 4% to agriculture. Do you think government is in any way doing enough to energize this sector?
Yes. Like you rightly said, Nigeria was known to be the giant of Africa through agriculture. But with the advent of oil, they felt it is easy to get it through the oil than agriculture. So they rolled down into oil and abandoned the agriculture. And if you see the income from oil is basically for government to use in serving most of the basic responsibility of government. It does not go down well with the individual. That is why you see unemployment is on rising. Because everybody that go to school want to do a white-collar job. Nobody want to go to farm any longer. Because they have not been able to introduce a modern mechanized way of farming that will ease the youth.
Perhaps will not make the farming attractive.
No. They have not made farming attractive. And that's why people like us have come up, team up ourselves, organize ourselves to make sure we propel what we call mechanized system of farming in the country. Recently, if I will draw you back, on the 27th of January 2023, we roll out a program where we launch about 200 tractors to use for this mechanized farming in the country. The tractors was launched by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, the Vice President elect. So he was the one that came to do the launching. And our Senator, Godswill Akpabio, was the chairman of that occasion. They saw what we play. We draw farmers from all over the country. And as I'm talking to you now, we have rolled out a program that we are going to plant cassava in mass.
Talking about getting government involved, you have been advocating for this, and some of the programs that you have had, like you said, I saw a clip of that event. The Vice President-elect was there, and of course, Senator Akpabio. But looking at moving forward, in about 32 days or from now, we'll have a new government in place. What policies of agriculture do you think this government should adopt?
Fine. For this incoming government to succeed in agriculture and wipe away the issue of unemployment and hunger in the country, they have to listen to farmers. They have to direct their project on the real farmers. They have to make the real farmers part of the policy making, part of the policy implementation, and part of policy execution. Farmers will be at the helm of affairs. That's why we are advocating that the Ministry of Agriculture is created for farmers, not farmers created for Ministry of Agriculture. So the Ministry of Agriculture will basically be occupied by farmers themselves, because nobody can do it better for you than yourself. When that is done, there's going to be massive achievement. So I'm advising the incoming administration to pay attention to real farmers, not political farmers. Yeah. Farmers that have access to land, farmers that have the instrument to introduce full mechanized system. We know it already. So if government can now throw his weight behind us, we are going to succeed. We are going to reduce 60% of Nigerian labor force by agriculture. Then the youth unrestiveness will gone. Then the hunger in the land will gone.
That's very interesting. Yes. Very, very interesting. But you kept talking about political farmers. How can we differentiate between the real farmers and the political farmers?
Fine. That is why you see that 100% of what was given out, only 10% or 20% were used for farming. The rest were down to their pocket. The one that marry wife, the one that build houses, buy cars, and roaming the street. There is nothing to commensurate to show of what volume of money government is pushing into agriculture. Nothing to show for it. That is why we call them political farmers. Like we in our Farmers Progressive Association, we have over 18,000 hectares of land ready for cultivation. And as I'm talking to you, in 774 local governments in the country, we have a vast lands, acquire land enough. When we move our tractors to those areas, I assure Nigerians.
They're talking about governments giving money to the political farmers. We understand that in Akon Borrowers Program, a lot of money were actually disbursed, credits were given to farmers, but some of them are yet to pay back.
Fine. The farmer they gave to are the farmers that are close to them, their brothers, their friends, and they are so on. And because those one knows that this one will not do me anything, they refuse to pay back. So those of us that are genuine when we approach, in fact, I came up with a bill of 20 billion to assess from the anchor borrower. And I went through my bank, as a Zenith Bank. They asked me to bring collateral. I was able to produce a collateral of 90 billion. They asked me to bring business plan. I did everything that I could do. But at the end of the day, they asked me to show my business plan, my cash flow. How do I present the cash flow when I have not started the business? I'm coming into a new business with the hope that I am going to prove to Nigeria that this is what we can do in mechanized farming. What is a big deal in farming? When you have the tractors, you have the input, you have the laborers, you have everybody set, and the land is set. We move into the field and work. So this time around, government should not make that mistake. They have to profile every farmer to know who are the real farmers. Let them submit their land acquisition. Let them go by themselves to inquire and to also investigate to know that, are these people real?
That's interesting. In 30 seconds, do you think Nigeria has what it takes in terms of with the kind of lands that we have, the arable lands that we have, to feed the rest of Africa?
Wonderful. If I will tell you, Nigeria can feed the whole world. The one good thing that Nigeria has is that our climate is favorable to all crops that we can produce on the earth's surface. Our climate is good for it. In every part of the country, you can produce all man food that we can feed the nations. And Nigeria have arable land, vast land, deposited everywhere. All we need is encouragement from government. Let them give soft loan to farmers, real farmers. Let them support us with more tractors, because we're supposed to have not less than 20 tractors in each local government to be able to galvanize the soil and make sure we have enough food that Nigeria will buy rice for 7,000 per bag. I assure Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Dr. Joseph Ogbo-Douglas, for your time on Business Daily today. Your passion for agriculture is evidence in the way you speak. We appreciate your time on Business Daily. I hope when we invite you again, you honor us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
And that's our offering today on Business Daily. I am Yusuf Akogo. Join us tomorrow for more.